And I think I said Serpent of the Vernissage, we were gonna just get the full game. Anyway, Song of Sunlight. Let's go. That's right, yeah, D-pad's better for the menus in this one. I forgot where we last time, I like, from what I remember, we talked to the girl with, like, the burns down her one side. And our guy was like, yeah, well, I'd like that. I'm gonna become a guard. I'm gonna protect her. I want to be a temple guard, not a beat cop. Which, you know, good on him. But, and he made some comments about the presumed relationship between his roommate and the other brick maker she hung out with. Okay, well, we're going this way then. We began much as the same as the previous day. My father was generally a man of little words. He gestured, the circle was formed, and we began to spar. Sajin was chosen again, along with a second apprentice that I do somewhat well. Multiple enemies. Okay. Targets on the bumpers. Different weapons of a different range. Okay. Oh, so back up a bit. I see. So it's sharper towards the end. I got you. Okay, that's just it. Okay. I wasn't great at the combat, so... Alright. On your turn, you have the option to evade forward or backward. Like during defense. Okay. Evading this manner costs less stamina than while on defense. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna get my ass beat. I forgot which button is which. I guess X? Okay, X is the boxy one, okay. I like that if you still have some juice left, you can... That way too early, but... It seems possible, at least. Don't hit a direction when you're using the square, okay. The slower grind on that is annoying, but... Alright, we got there. Ashada raised his hands, ready to call the next pair to the circle. But there came a slight voice from behind the group. Hawoonbera? Ashadar looked surprised. Standing at the edge of the circle was a courier. Oh boy, younger than me, perhaps. Uh-oh. Oh, Ashadar's his father, okay. Yes. Yes? I've come with a message of summons for you, sir. It's a request from the Ashan. They'd like to see you presently. I see you at once. I forget what voice I did for his dad before, I'm sorry. I mostly just remember him and his dad. If it pleases you, sir. Very well. Students, please stretch and practice your forms while I apologize. This matter also concerns the apprentice Aram. He should come as well. Aram? Father gave me a puzzled look. The boy carried the word from Ishan, from the Ishan. They wanted to see me and my father. I tried to recall the last time I'd spoken with the Ishan. Huh. Kanari would remember. What is this about? I grew nervous as the uncertainty washed over me. The possibilities flooded my mind, and I took a moment to recenter myself. I nodded slowly at Father. He turned, then, to address the group. My son and I will step out for a short while. Keep active and await our return. Aram, let's go. Yeah. Please follow me. We walked in silence down the streets. The messenger kept I don't know why they capitalized silence there, interesting. Kept a few paces ahead of us, unspeaking. Eager for more information, I turned to speak to my father. Father, what have they called us for? He looked ahead, clearly searching for a reason himself. I don't know. I don't think we did anything illegal by hanging out at that tree, so... The chamber of the Ishan was within the temple itself. We came quickly, and climbed the steps under the bright midday sun. Please go on ahead. They're expecting you. Thank you. It was a blessing. Likewise. Like that you get little hints of like how their etiquette works and stuff too through some of these exchanges. The chamber of the Ishan was lit similarly to the temple itself. Light streamed in through an open ceiling, casting a square beam along the stone floors. The Ishan themselves sat obscured in shadow, light unable to reach their seats. Oh, I guess the council. This was a room that I seldom visited. I pulled that from the plural seats, not the plural they. That could have gone either way. The uncertainty of the situation made my stomach feel light. I thought back to Father's words as we walked. I don't know. Maybe this was about the harvest. I wanted to talk to Father about the food shortage. No, but why am I here as well? I felt my nerves grow. Father stood at my side. I looked at him for a moment, trying to gauge his expression. Tense shift. His face was neutral as always, but I could tell he was God damn it. I could tell he was as uncertain as myself. The reason they had requested me. Father bowed respectfully, and I quickly followed suit. Good day, Ashidar. It is a blessing to see you. A voice came from beyond the light. I trust you are well. How is Malia? Father smiled and gave a nod. She is well, as am I, Ishan. I recognized this voice to be Ishan Jia. He usually spoke first, and often carried the opinion of the room. His voice was warm and decidedly aged, but it carried confidence and certainty. And Adam, how you've grown since last we have seen you. I nodded, somewhat reassured by the pleasant tone of the conversation. Ashidar seemed to consider for a moment. Shana, I am afraid I still don't quite understand, he said. Another voice came from the left. No, we are here to discuss Adam's advancement, of course. This was Ishan Niraj. My advancement? Father seemed as surprised as I. His advancement, he began. Forgive me, but it's scheduled for the end of this season, is it not? As my eyes adjusted to the light, I saw Ishan Jia give a small smile. For others of his age, yes. But Adam is a special case as your child. At this, I saw something come over Father's face. At first, it was very subtle. My father was a gentleman, but composed so often that he appeared rather stern. It was rare to see emotion overtake him in any capacity. But he wore a face now of genuine and utter disbelief. Is this not early? He said, slowly. I don't think so at all, Ishanjia replied, smiling at me. We have heard wonderful things about Aram and his skill in wound-bearing. It will be to the island's great benefit if he becomes a journeyman and starts training in his concentration immediately. Forgive us for breaking courtesy, Ashidar, but you should have known there was a possibility we might move early given your position. I processed the words for a long moment, and everything else seemed to fade away. It was time. Already. My goal was within reach so suddenly. I felt my nerves give way to raw excitement. He's going to get the job he didn't want, isn't he? I was advancing early? I looked at Father, expecting the proud look he wore yesterday as I defeated Sejan. But his face was strained. Strained, as if unable to follow a conversation of topics far beyond his understanding. I see, he said after a long moment. Well, I have recommended him for Temple Guard many times, as you know. Ishanjia shook his head gently. Ashidar, you already know this decision cannot be made by yourself in this case. Ashidar's face lost more of its usual composure. Oh. Not Temple Guard? That left. Suddenly I was speaking. So then, peacekeeping or sentry? I said to the faceless figures ahead of me. Ishanjia nodded at me. We assigned more than half the group to peacekeeping last year, so our choice was rather clear, he said thoughtfully. Sentry will be a perfect place for your talents, Aram. You should be very proud. I felt my pulse race. Sentry. I bowed deeply. I am very honored, I said. Father's voice came suddenly. Please. Surely. Surely there's room for another in peacekeeping. Or temple guard? Why? What's so bad about being a sentry? I'm curious. I don't remember them detailing what the sentry duties are. His voice was suddenly thin and frail. Hearing it was like submerging one's head into cold water. Something you are wholly unprepared for, no matter how trivial the idea seemed beforehand. Why does he sound so... Come now, Ashidar, said Ishan Niraj. This is where he is needed. Don't you trust the way of things? I know that you do. My father stood very still. And after a long moment, he nodded and bowed his head. I do. Before I knew what was happening, Father and I were walking towards the base of the Great Hill. I realized then I was meant to begin immediately. And immediately meant now. The daylight was beginning to thin. He walked ahead, and I followed. He was silent. I was similarly speechless, the shock of knowing I was advancing to journeyman early still washing over me. However, Father's reaction... It wasn't what I was expecting. What do I want him to say? To congratulate me, at least? That's what I had expected. This is a big day. The most important day of my life so far. Why won't he say anything? Our destination quickly drew near. Okay. Aram. Hi. What do you know about the well? The well? I know... only what they told us in General Ed, I guess. Tell me. Okay. It's a forbidden place. Uh-oh. We got forbidden zone duty. We're not supposed to enter. What else? And... it's where our enemies live? That's true. What are they called? Ancestors. Yes. They wish us harm, always. I'm getting the feeling that that's not gonna turn out to necessarily be the case. This is a necessity of our obligation. Of the 3 concentrations a wound bearer can take, this is by far the most important. If I knew that this would be... I didn't realize there would be so little time to prepare you. What do you... I've always known Sentry was a possibility. I haven't seen one before? An ancestor, I mean. I've only heard them described. Yes, and you may never see one. But you are a sentry now. This is your duty to the settlement. Right. I'm ready for anything. Where we are standing now. No ancestor may make it past this platform. You must destroy them. Don't make this tower defense. Please, no. You must destroy them before they get here. Under no circumstances may they be allowed to enter the settlement. Okay, so it is patrol duty. It's just... we're going to find some critters coming out of the well. Of course. I thought they were going to... we might still end up going into the well, for all I know, but... I understand, Father. I'm ready, really. You've been preparing me all this time, right? I had hoped... Never mind. It's time to begin. With that, we entered the large passageway. I didn't know what to expect. I hadn't set foot here in a long time. Not since... Huh. I don't recall. Can't talk to Dad. Okay, so we gotta go in the tunnel. He'll probably talk to us as we're about to enter. We approached a group of 3 young men. They were sentries, journeyman sentries. Older than myself, it seemed. They sat around what seemed like a fire pit, not prisonly lit. The first, the tall boy with short hair, stood bowed to address Father. Hello, sir. We were told to expect a 4th. This is Aram. He was scheduled to advance at the end of the season. However, it was decided he would begin training as a sentry immediately. Oh, I see. Hello. I think maybe we've met before? Maybe. My name's Kian. The second boy stood and bowed similarly to the first. Third, appearing as the oldest, remained seated. Instead, he nodded in my direction. My name's Tala. It's a blessing to meet you. I look forward to serving with you, Aram. Likewise. This is Riash, by the way. Okay. The 3 began to converse quietly, and I turned back to look at Father. At least the age difference isn't, like, too huge, so we'll have, presumably, stuff to talk about. He stood very still, his gaze distant. I followed his eyes and properly considered my surroundings for the first time. It was there, perhaps 200 feet ahead of me. The great stone doorway. They were swung wide, far too heavy to move. Plainly carved with little detail. The entrance to the well. Something about it. The color, the materials of the door, felt wrong. It stood out from its surroundings, fundamentally. I felt the doorway watching me. I felt it begin to creep into me. From every corner of my gaze. So this was that place. That place we were never supposed to enter. Sometimes it was easy to forget that the well was there at all. It seldom came up, even in stories, and less so in daily conversation. But even so, we all knew. Ad's about to start, so I'll hang my hat there and we'll come right back. Alright, carrying on. We all knew. I did see there's like a little skeleton looking dude in the thumbnail for the main game. So I'm guessing that might be what the ancestors look like, at least one of them. Anyway, I'm here all the same, I suppose. I must take my leave. I understand. I am prepared. You've given me everything I need. Aram, please listen to what they have to teach you. We'll talk more about this tonight. At this, Father wrapped his arms around me. He embraced me for a long moment. I was startled more than anything else. I couldn't recall the last time he'd hugged me. But before long, he was gone. Giving me one last nod, he disappeared beyond the mouth of the entrance tunnel. I'm guessing we get to go back into town at times, too. Otherwise, I don't see why they would have taught us about the subquests and stuff. And all the, like, those miscellaneous items we picked up but couldn't really use yet. The 3 returned to their seats around the empty fire pit. Tala, the middle in both height and stature of the other 2 sentries, waved me over. I took a seat by them. So, Well, I suppose we should go over the shifts. Right. I'm sure you know some of this already. Although this was the third one, so it was quiet. I stayed seated. That's right. I'm sure you know some of this already, Aram. Not really. I've heard about it from some of the journeymen, but I think Father really wanted me to become a temple guard. He wouldn't tell me much about the sentries. Really. Well, no matter. I'll start from the top. Our job is, essentially, to watch the well at every hour of every day. But we need to sleep too, of course. So we, the sentries, watch the well in shifts. Right. The three of us. Oh well, 4 now. We watch the well from mid-afternoon to about past sunset. Just watch? Yeah. It's the majority of what we do. Just sit and watch. But what about the ancestors? Honestly, they don't attack very often. Sometimes we go a year without seeing a single one. Don't say shit like, oh, we are fucking cooked. We're done. It's over. They're getting swarmed. They're swarming by the end of the scene. And even then, they should have half dead already. I see. But what if they do attack? Well, you're the youngest, so stay behind and out of harm's way. So you get a feel for how to handle them, that is. I couldn't do that. I'd be there at the front, with you all. Don't worry, Aram. We won't think you're cowardly or anything. That's how it works when we train new sentries. Yeah. Don't sweat it. We all went through something similar. Alright then. I can do that. There's something else you should know. It's part of your duty as a sentry. Oh? The well. There's a reason we are forbidden from entering. You go into the well. I remember. I'll die. Without a doubt. Right. It's true. If for any reason one of us fell down there by mistake, we're not permitted to attempt any sort of rescue. Guess who's gonna fall down there? That person's considered dead. They are dead. What? Or the one priestess is gonna fall down there and he's gonna be like, well, time to break every taboo of our culture. Why? It's just the way it is. Some things will never change. Come now, we're rune bearers. Remember what they taught us, right? We have a fire inside ourselves. Our lives are important, and we don't lose them. That won't ever happen. Don't be afraid. Okay, yeah. I get it. You don't need to worry about me. I won't get in the way. Of course not. We're glad to have you, Aram. Three of us were getting pretty bored with each other, so that much is for sure. Yeah, you can't imagine having to stare at Riash's face for hours on end each day. Yeah. Wait, what? Screw you. Like, you're such a railite. Here you tell the same 3 goddamn stories over and over again. You used to have something interesting to talk about. Riash grew red in the face and began shouting, the banter devolving quickly. I looked at Tala, who was laughing at the childish display. I couldn't help but laugh either. So this is how I would spend my days from now on. Here, with these 3, under the evening sun. It was an odd feeling, all at once. The feeling of being where I had always dreamed of being. Is this really it? Thus, the day began to slip by. I don't recall how long it had been, but eventually we were sitting in comfortable silence. True to their word, we simply rested and watched. At one point, the 3 attempted to give me tips on swordplay, but found themselves too lazy to demonstrate physically. Thus, the conversation came and went as the hour slid past. The 4 of us sat around the fire, which had been lit in the growing shadow of the evening. I was strangely lethargic. I had expected to be exhausted, but instead, I was relaxed. Something dawned on me just then. Glancing quickly at the looming doorway of the well, I turned to Tala with a question. Hey, the doorway. Can we not just close it? It looks heavy, but with a dozen moon bears, maybe. Or, oh. Make some sort of boulder with archimancy? Seal it up. I would have done the same thing on my first day. The Ashada insisted we keep it open, actually. I suppose in the past they tried closing it. Apparently it doesn't deter the ancestors even a little. They just gather behind the door. All at once, dozens of them pushed their way through and nearly made it to the settlement. Oh. So it's like a slow drip instead of an onslaught. We lost a lot of moon bears doing it that way. So we keep it open. They come one at a time, we can pick them off easier. As far as we can tell, they don't coordinate their efforts at all. I see. That's smart. Hey, Aram? Yeah? Good question as well. Why were you assigned so early? Yeah, I was wondering the same. Seems odd they picked you just you to advance early, no? I'm not really sure why. It's not unheard of. Advancing early, I mean. At least when it comes to wound bearing. The Ashan wanted to see me all of a sudden, and they decided, well, that I'd become a sentry, and start immediately. Because they saw some serious potential or something. Now I'm expecting a lot with a story like that. I'll try not to disappoint. Hey, how long have you all known each other? Too long. Shut up. But he's right. Keon and I have been friends for a long time. Yeah, we met in General Ed. I'm sure you have a few friends like that too. It's hard not to find common ground with someone you're forced to see every day, right? Yeah, I know what you mean. I suppose I'm the odd one out in this group. I met Keon and Ryash about a year ago when I was assigned to this shift. Don't sell yourself short, Tala. You're a lot more interesting than Keon. What the hell? I know it doesn't seem like it, but I think we get along pretty well. I guess. It's nice to have a new face. I'm sure you'll fit right in. Thanks, Keon. I appreciate it, really. I'm still... I'm just happy to finally be here, even if I'm not a journeyman yet. Thank you for your kindness so far. Of course. The conversation dwindled once more, and the four of us continued to pass the time, resting. I tried to stay vigilant and keep myself seated in such a way that I could quickly get up, and have my weapon in hand. But before long, I was leaning against the wall comfortably. I nearly grew drowsy when laughter pulled me from my daze. I came to and listened in. Keon and Ryash were just sitting a few feet away, engaged in what seemed like a scandalous conversation. There's no way. I don't believe you. Or, that was Keon, I'm sorry. There's no way. I don't believe you. Keon's voice was emphatic. Well, it's true. Ryash replied confidently, leaning back and putting a hand behind his head. I don't need you to believe me, because it happened. Bullshit. You kissed Nithya? Keon sounded incredulous. Ryash gave a sultry smile. I forget if we've met Nithya yet. More than that, young Keon. Been meeting after my shifts for a few weeks. This isn't fair, groaned Keon, falling backward in defeat. I think you can land a beautiful girl and I can't. You got the personality of a clay ball. What could I say? Women are simply drawn to me, Ryash said as he go blinding. Ryash suddenly grinned and turned, shooting me a dirty grin. By the way, Aram, you got a girl, right? The question caught me completely and utterly off guard. My mind immediately went to Sachita. Her face flashed through my head as I thought about the question. I imagined her lips. No. Not yet, I said, frantically thinking of a way to change the subject. Keon chimed in. No? Any girl you got your eye on? Maybe. I'm not sure, I replied, avoiding their gaze. Look of a totally innocent man there on the right. I couldn't possibly tell them how I'd had my eye on one girl for as long as I could remember. Never mind, the girl was Sachita, of all people. Fortunately, Tala broke in and saved me with a sharp remark. I'm sure he's asking because he's worried about he's worried he has competition. I can't imagine Nithya is too committed to the relationship, knowing Ryash. At this, Keon erupted into laughter. I followed suit, happy to distract from my non-answer. We all laughed, Ryash too. We laughed. And we laughed. Up. Uh-oh. I didn't think one of these guys was going to get got that soon. And then, Keon wasn't laughing. Long, black metal fingers slowly clasped around his face and neck. Pressing into his skin with razor-sharp ends, small streaks of blood began to seep between its long fingers. There was no sound for a moment. I simply watched, unable to understand what was happening. In a single moment, his body was lifted from the ground. He was held by... something. A tall creature stood behind us, on the grass. Its body was stark white. Its limbs were black like ink. Its jaw hung agape, filled with small rows of serrated razors. It made no noise. Kian began to struggle as the creature pressed its hand tighter around his neck and face. Screaming, Kian flailed his arms and legs wildly. The screams quickly became choked. There was a sharp sound, and Kian let out a gasp. My face was warm suddenly. His body fell to the grass softly. Of all the times... okay. Frozen. I watched. Kian's eyes were gone. Simply missing. One of his ears was gone as well, lying on the grass beside his head. His screams transformed to long, labored moans. Kian writhed around on the ground, blood oozing from his mouth, nose, and eyes. I was unable to speak or call out. Ryash leapt to his feet. Standing, he held his blade tightly in one hand. Kian. Ryash asked quietly, the shock visibly washing over him like a cold fever. Kian! Suddenly he was shouting. Tala's voice beside me, racked with panic. It moved so quietly. How did this happen? Tala up to his feet, his own spear now in hand. The creature tilted its head and began to advance, moving silently through the grass. It seemed to glide upon its slender limbs, clicking softly as the joints rotated. Ryash still stood between the creature and Tala and myself. His blade was outstretched, pointed ahead. Kian moaned softly on the ground. In the midst of it all, I sat and watched. My entire body shook, and my stomach felt like ice water. What? What's happening? I tried to think about my training. What was my training again? When a person is injured, I'm supposed to... Tala. Tala, Ryash called out. I heard a quick footsteps move away from me. Tala ran right, his spear in hand, trying to flank the creature. It slowly turned its head, watching Tala approach. At that moment, Ryash lunged forward. His blade glinted in the evening light as it made an arc from head to toe. There was the sound of metal upon metal, and the creature recoiled as the blade connected with its head. Tala drew closer, but it reacted swiftly. One of its long arms shot out at Ryash. Oh, well, that's not great. It was a sickening sound. Instantly, Ryash's arm was gone from the elbow up. Blood poured from the wound, dripping from the hanging tendon and splintered bone. He collapsed, screaming. There was a dull thud. The arm landed by my feet. Free arm. Give the man a hand. I'm supposed to treat the wound. Yeah, good luck with that, buddy. I tried to come to my feet, but stumbled and fell. I can't look. There was the sound of metal striking metal once more. I heard another scream and the sounds of struggle. I tore my head upward to see Tala's spear, partially stuck in the creature's narrow torso, fall to the ground. Tala was now held, its slender arm wrapped around his body. He struggled. The creature made as if to lift Tala off the ground, but suddenly it seemed to freeze. It tilted its head and made a low clicking noise. Suddenly, the creature began to shake erratically. Its limbs vibrated, and its head rotated to an unnatural angle. But then, its claws contracted. Digging into Tala's back, he cried out in pain. The creature still held him firmly, but it was dragging him towards the doorway, the great stone mouth of the well. I could barely lift my head to watch. I didn't want to look. Tala's face was pale, and his limbs hung loosely to his sides. The grass was streaked red, and as the tall creature pulled him further and further toward the doorway. He gave me a look, then... Aram, he said softly, and then they were gone. Way to not do shit, buddy. I was lying there, still, in that spot where I had sat by the fire. I hadn't moved an inch. I don't recall how much time had passed, but I stood. Ryash? Are you... Ryash? Ryosh? Ryosh? Please say something. Oh, you can't even move faster. I was going light on the stick to add a little drama, but no, you can't move faster than that. Kion. Kion? 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 Will you say something? Oh. Oh, that was inventory, my bad. Well, are we supposed to go back and report, or? Time to do something stupid! Do we, like, yell from the door? Oh, okay. They're dead, dude. I stumbled across the grass. My sandals felt wet. I looked down and saw that my toes were red. Still, it hung open. The doorway to the well. That's where Tala is. It was taken. Maybe. Maybe Tala's still alive? Maybe if I go after him, I could save him? But it's the well. The well. I know that what I've been taught. I know what they told me. If I go into the well, I'll die. Nobody will rescue me. I'll die, and my head felt hot, my stomach felt light. I bent at the waist and was quietly sick. If I do this, am I gonna die? I won't see my family again. Anybody. So why shouldn't I just run away? I stood and looked at the doorway. I noticed then it was a staircase. And it went down. Down into the ground. I stepped forward. If I do this, I'll be throwing it away. My life. Everything I've worked for. What am I about to do? I was at the edge of the door. If I don't do this, I won't be able to live with myself. If I don't do this, I've been lying to myself. Ryosh and Kion. They're dead and I did nothing. Otherwise, what have I been doing for 12 years? What am I about to do? I'll walk away right now. How old is he? Because for 12 years, presumably that means training for 12 years. I don't think he's 12, but like, when did he start? Nobody knows what happened besides me. I'll walk away right now. How will I show my face to Sachita ever again? I'll walk away right now. I'll walk away. I don't think he's gonna walk away. At least not away from the door. What am I about to do? I'm about to... My legs felt they were moving on their own. I'm gonna try, Tala. I'm gonna try and save your life. In the process, I'm gonna die. Okay. Okay, that's part of the... There we go. To staircase. Surface stairway implies that there were going to be other stairways. The staircase ended. I came to a large room. The ceiling was low. It was dark. Space was odd. Empty and wide. Yet, it felt small. There was a faint light ahead of me. Saw a red trail. It's this way. Great use of parallax. This place is big, apparently. Okay, counterattacks. Blocking consecutive enemy attacks will sometimes allow Aram to perform a counterattack. Pay attention to the green counter meter beside Aram in combat. Blocking any enemy attack will fill the meter by a small amount. Perfect blocking will fill it by a large amount. As the meter is full, Aram will immediately launch into a counterattack, usually interrupting the attacking enemy's combo. This attack comes out quickly, but will allow you to Get an extra damage without spending stamina. Okay, so it's free stamina. That's good. As well as deal maximum damage regardless of range. Block it. Okay. I keep forgetting it rotates until you clear it. Time to get in a fight. Entered a vast space. Vast. Largest room I'd ever seen. Both my sides was a great drop. The bottom of which was so far away I couldn't see it. My breathing grew rapid as and I felt my hands begin to shake even more so than they already were. This space, so vast and unfamiliar. This will be the place where I die. It's ahead of me. And yeah, I think we will stop after hop to it, because the sleepy is starting to overtake me. We're gonna get in trouble. I think we're already in trouble. Hey, buddy! The creature stood motionless ahead. We were upon a great bridge. And there was Tala. He was lying face down, unmoving. The creature faced away from me. It seemed to perch over Tala's body. I stood and watched. My hands are shaking. I felt for my weapon. Father's words went through my head. I have to destroy it. Is Tala still alive? I took a step forward, and suddenly the creature turned to face me. No. This is an ancestor. It began to click softly. I realized then that its sleek white face bore a deep scar. Its torso was similarly marked by Tala's spear. So that's why it didn't already killed me. It damaged it. It may be enough. Enough that I may live through this. I raised my weapon, an apprentice's sword. And suddenly, I was running forward. Oh shit, wrong button. Thought I'd block that, right? Hope. Fuck, wrong button again. God damn it. We put a dent in it. I just was hitting the wrong block buttons for most of that. If it gets worse, I'm going to dial the combat difficulty down. Sorry, I'm bad at video games. At least it's not making me do that again. Okay, hope. Fuck. Fuck. The wrong direction on that one, alright, hope. That was too early, okay. That or the laceration caught up with me. Did a little better that time. Give me my money back. Early. Fuck, wrong direction. What? That was right. Fuck you. Alright, I'm turning the difficulty down. I don't know what the... Like, some of the ups and downs, I'm absolutely hitting. At least the right direction. Story mode on. Get fucked. It's a cool system, but it's beating the shit out of me. We'll see how simple it is. If it feels too simple, then I will like just say fuck it. Also, my goodies are gone now too, apparently. I think he's doing less damage to me, so... And the circles are closing a little slower, so... I'm absolutely hitting the right directions. I don't know what the fuck it's fucking me for. Got his ass. Laceration meter's not doing me any favors, but... I mean, that or I'm just hitting the B slightly before the direction registers, because... Either way, I think we're keeping it on story difficulty for the full playthrough. My weapon felt heavy in my hands. Is it dead? There was a sound then. Low and repetitive. It's my heart. No, it's... On unsteady feet, I stumbled to where the towel lay. I tried to say something to speak his name. I tried, and nothing came. I bent to reach for him and fell to my knees. I placed both hands, now free, on his back. The sound returned, and it rang in my ears. It grew louder. I tried to drag Tala inch by inch. I tried to drag it back towards the stairs. He was heavy and cold. Tala's dead already, isn't he? The sound grew deafening in my ears. I stopped and let my hands fall to my sides. And I looked up. I looked up, and for the first time, truly considered how the place I currently was. That's a good shot. I like that. This is the well. Like a satiated hunger, the noise suddenly went away from me in ringing silence. All that remained was the hollow quiet of the enormous space surrounding me. Like the sky above the settlement on a cloudless day, the ceiling stretched beyond sight. This place. It's below us? This place, greater than the settlement by 1,000-fold merely from where I stood. This place from which the ancestors come. It's right below our feet. I felt my body begin to shake. I tried to reason with it, to understand what it all meant. How something like this was possible. How something so horrible sat beneath us. It can't be. Why is it here? What is its purpose? This is why I was chosen to become a sentry. To prevent anything in this place from crossing over into our peaceful island? I thought about it. I thought about my dreams of being a journeyman. I would be a temple guard, confidently protecting the settlement under the warm sunlight. I would be Sachita's side when she needed me. But instead, I'm here. Those old dreams seem childish now, faced with such monumental darkness. The overwhelming feeling grew, and I felt like lying down. However, out of the corner of my gaze, I noticed Tala's body stir. It was slight, perhaps a shallow breath. Motion was enough to tear my eyes from the vast space above me and regain my attention once more. What was I doing? I had something I was doing. Tala. He's still alive. Gripping it tightly once more, I pulled with all my strength. Slowly, I pulled him towards the long staircase. My memory of what happened next is fuzzy. Suddenly, I recall being in the courtyard, at the settlement's edge. The last light still kept in the sky. I heard voices. A cry of shock. And quickly, Father was there. I recall his arms around me. Then, he was holding Tala. I recall being taken to the temple. I recall my mother's cries of fear. Her arms were around me, too. Somebody tried to ask me something. Arab? Arab, can you hear me? I nodded. Love a little traumatic shock. Or maybe it's our mother. Or is it a cheetah? Sometime later, I sat very still and looked down at my hands. Okay, it is his mother. My mother was there, too. She held me close. Aram. She spoke very softly. Aram, love. You need to go to sleep. I tried to say something in response. Nothing came out. I shook my head. I felt her shift, moving her hands on top of my own. She flinched, pulling away for a short instant. My hands were still cold as ice. They were as cold as the well. Why don't we say a prayer? Prayer for the two we lost. I nodded. Oh, so if it's two they lost, then our boy did survive. For now. That day. Last day of my long apprenticeship, and the first day of my days as a journeyman. I fell fitfully into a dreamless sleep while my mother whispered a quiet prayer. A prayer for two now dead I had met only a few short hours ago. As my eyes grew heavy, the adrenaline finally subsided. I pictured the vast, quiet, empty darkness that lay beneath our feet. All the images now seared into my eyes in my memory of the previous day. Kion's body, crumpled on the grass, stained a dark crimson red. Riash, face down, lying next to the remains of his own arm. The one that I saw as I drifted towards the unconsciousness of, was the overwhelming vastness of the space. It was in my head, and it wouldn't go away, as if the well itself was calling to me. Kian has a feeling of heat. Dry, smothering heat. This wasn't where I was supposed to be. It looked like my old classroom, but I knew it wasn't. Dream, I guess? Pale orange light streamed in. It felt hot on my skin. My throat was dry. I tried to stand, but a voice froze me in place. You're not gonna run away, are you, Aram? Run away? But I didn't. I didn't run away. I went after Tala. I went into the well. Is that what I mean? Now that you've seen that place, do you intend to hide from it? Surely you won't be afraid to see it again. That's bait. Again? Why would I... You did so well yesterday. You were so brave, Aram. I was? Oh yes. And of course. Who could forget a sight like the one you saw? Yeah. I could see it clear as day. I can't keep my thoughts away from how it looked. Of course you can't, Aram. I know you're curious. Oh, yeah. I know you want to know more. Yes. So, I'll ask again. Are you going to run away? Had I realized it was one of the ancestors, it would have been a little more, like, grating, but... Oddly, I woke early next morning. Wasn't tired or sore. I woke with a strange clarity of some kind. My head felt full last night. Full of sights and sounds. But it was empty now. Empty your goddamn mind! And I began to think clearly. I'm in the temple? They brought me here and not to the hospice. Yes, of course. The Ishan will want to know what happened. And I'm the only one left alive. No. Mom said 2 last night. Only 2 had died. So he survived then. Tala. Wait. The Ishan will want to know what happened. How is it that Tala was spared? Or how it is that Tala was spared? Well, my part in that was... Suddenly, I felt fear flicker through my body. I'd forgotten. I broke a cardinal rule. I went into the well after Tala. I went into the one place we were forbidden to go. They warned me not to. What will they do if they find out? What if Tala already told them? I need to find him and make sure. It's early, and I don't hear anybody outside. I should be able to sneak out of this room and look around. It must be somewhere close by. I didn't want to leave with my money, or with all my money gone, but... Peeking through the doorway, I finally caught up the sight of Tala. He was sitting up in his makeshift sleeping mats, looking out the window. Remembering the blood, I expected his injuries to be severe. But he seemed in relatively good shape, with only a few bandages wrapped around his chest. I'm worried he's been, like, implanted or something and gonna get turned into an ancestor, but... Noting my presence, his eyes widened. Aram? God. Aram, I'm really happy to see you. Tala? I was afraid that... I thought you'd... How are you feeling? Honestly, I'm feeling okay. But, never mind that. What happened yesterday? I don't remember all of it. But I do remember... that you saved my life, Aram. You saved my life and you could have just run away. I thought about it, honestly. But for some reason, I just couldn't do it. I understand. If that were in your place, I don't know if I could have made the same decision. But you did, and I'm eternally grateful. I had a good feeling about you. I knew I wasn't wrong to think that. Tala? Kian and Riash. I know. At least, they're together now in the sky. This never should have happened. What do you mean? An ancestor like that? I've never seen one so big. So big and undamaged. And of all the days, it appeared on your first day with us. I don't understand it either. But, listen, Tala. I have something to ask you. I think I already know. Don't worry, Aram. I won't tell anybody what you did to save me. The very least I can do. I will tell them that you went down, you and I went down there. Really? Thank you, Tala. Of course. I should probably return. I imagine the Ishan will want to question me soon. Right, rest well. We'll speak soon, Aram. I began to walk out the door, wanting to return to my room before they found me seemingly missing. But just then, I stopped. Suddenly, in the back of my mind, there was a question. It was a request, something that I desperately wanted to ask Tala. It seemed illogical, insane even. Yet, somehow, the thought of the well returned. The desire to make sense of what I had seen. The empty darkness beneath our island of blessings. It came out, suddenly. Tala. Yesterday, in that place. In the well. Didn't it make you wonder? Wondered? Aram? What are you talking about? It was so vast. And empty. Why is it there? I don't know. And I don't need to know. It doesn't matter. Listen, Tala. Don't you want to know more? How such a horrible thing could be beneath us? Where it is the ancestors came from? No. I know everything I need to know about ancestors. They killed 2 of my friends? I know. I know, but I want to know more. Sorry. I should get back. I think The Ishan will want to speak with me soon. Okay. After leaving Tala's room, I returned to my own feeling somewhat relieved. Tala was the only other person who knew what had happened. So the true events of yesterday were secret for now. Once I stood before the Ishan, would they remain that way? Short time passed as I rested, and eventually I was stirred by a messenger entering the room. Bowing and asking me to follow, we walked the short distance to the chamber of the Ishan. For the second time in only a day, I was walking into a dimly lit room, unsure of what was to come. As I entered, I noticed my father standing to my left. Anxious and uncertain of what was to come, I turned my head instinctively to look at him. For as long as I could remember, I looked at my father when I was afraid. Calm and collected always, his presence was reassuring. Yet, as I turned to face him, the expression on his face was a fear that dwarfed my own. Someone saw him coming out. It's gotta be. They know. There were bags under his eyes, and the lines of his face were creased with worry. As soon as I came to a stop, the Ishan began to speak. It was Ishan Ji at first. Aaron, 2 journeyman sentries have been killed. The third was dragged from the garden, unconscious and with many injuries. By you, Aaron. He paused and let the words wash over the spacious room. This can only be the result of an ancestor attack. Aaron, please tell us. What happened? I stood in silence for a short moment, trying to decide how to describe exactly what had happened. What could I even say? How could I describe my cowardice? Sitting there, doing nothing as the ancestor killed Kian and Riash. I managed. It's as you said. An ancestor appeared, suddenly. He moved silently, and Kian and Riash, I stopped, unable to put into words the horrible forms their bodies made lying upon the grass. In the brief silence, my father interrupted, his voice severe. Please, Ishana, why must we be forced to speak of these things? We already know that that ancestor is responsible for the death of 2 children of the island. Ishan Jia raised his hand to call for silence. Ashida, please, he said firmly. We understand the fear you feel for your son. But Aaron has done something remarkable, don't you see? Even in the face of such horrors. Allow him to speak. My father opened his mouth as if to say something more, but quickly closed it, casting his eyes downward. I started again. Suddenly, it was holding Tala tightly with its hands. And then I stopped. And then what? I can't tell the truth. I can't. So then, I'm gonna lie. I'm gonna lie to the Ishan. Even one day ago, I don't think I could have even entertained such an idea. But now, I took a short breath. I turned away for a short moment, and that's when I made my move. Kian and Riash, they had already damaged it. They died, so I could have a chance to win. So, I attacked, and it ran away, back into the well. Stopping abruptly, I lowered my head. The thought of my lie now out in the open filling me with dread. The room was silent for a brief moment. Ishan Jia broke the silence. Aaron, please, he said. Raise your head. Your actions yesterday were nothing but brave. You did your duty to the settlement and fulfilled your obligation as a wound bearer. And in the process of defending us from the ancestor threat, you managed to save the sacred life of a fellow child of the sun. Shocked at his words, I slowly raised my head as instructed. You must realize, Aaron. You are not to blame for the death of Kian and Riash. Is that really true? I nodded very slowly. No, Ishan Jia said. It's clear that you have been blessed, Aaron. God has given you his blessing, and for that reason, you prevailed. Course of agreement ran out from the other Ishan. I see now that we were not wrong to give you the role of sentry, nor begin your time as a journeyman early. They didn't even question my words. They believed what I said. I suppose it's not entirely false. What happens now? My father spoke out once again. I don't understand. Aaron is to return to his post as sentry? Even having scarcely survived such a horror? Elder Gia smiled then, genuinely. Of course, Ashidar. Look what your son has already done for our island in such a short time, he said proudly. He is blessed by God. My father said nothing in return, looking at me in shock before turning away from the last time. But of course, you may take as much time as you need to recover physically and mentally before you return. Please send a messenger to us when you are ready. I found myself at a loss for words. After a pause, I gave a weak bow and tried to respond. Thank you, I said, quietly. I'll need a short while to think things through. Nishan Jia nodded. Thus, the meeting ended. My father bowed and left rapidly, without so much as a word or a look in my direction. He had been acting so strangely ever since our meeting with the Ishan yesterday. Even now, why won't he say anything to me? I wanted to explain this to me. To tell me that everything will be okay. He's been in the well too, hasn't he? What's happening? That question, along with many others, swirled in my head as I returned to my temporary room. I stepped into the hallway, rubbing my eyes, and saw two familiar faces. It was Sachita and my mother, conversing quietly near the doorway. My heart dropped. How much did Sachita know about what happened? Sachita noticed me first, and immediately her eyes widened in shock. Sachita called out, running forward and stopping just short of me. She put out her arms as if to embrace me, but stopped and quickly pulled them back. Much as I could tell she wanted to, touching a man or woman who wasn't also a sunlight maiden was publicly forbidden. Aram, she said, her voice choking. She sounded as though she was holding back tears. I heard that something happened and She shook her head emphatically. I thought maybe you were hurt, Aram, and My mother came up behind us slowly. She put her hand on Sachita's shoulder. Ugh. It seemed my mother hadn't told Sachita very much. I'm okay, Sachi. I'm not hurt at all. How are you feeling today, my love? I'm doing fine, Mom. Really? Are you really not hurt? I'm okay. You didn't need to worry. Thank God. I was so afraid, Aram, that something might have happened to you. I don't know what I would do. Sachi, really, I'm fine. I was doing my duty to the settlement. That's all. But Sachita, love, why don't we let him rest for now? Oh, I'm sorry. You must be exhausted. Only a little. Of course. Take your time. I'll come and find you really soon, okay? Sure, Sachi. Oh, and, Mom? Did you see where Dad went? I'm not sure. I see. He won't speak to me at all. He's been acting strangely. I wouldn't worry, dear. He's been under a lot of stress this past day. It's a lot for a father when his son finally advances, no? And of course, he was worried about you, too. Alright. I'll see you soon, Mom. You too, Sachi. Mm-hmm. I returned to my temporary room and sat. I sat, putting my head on my knees, thinking, what am I going to do now? The Ishan told me I was blessed. They praised me for what I did. How could a person who saw what I saw be blessed? That conversation with Sachita just now, even from what little she heard, she was afraid for me. For my life. I can't have that. I can't ever be afraid for me. Never again. This isn't how it was supposed to go. It never is. No. This is the opposite of how it was supposed to go. I need to show her that I'm strong. That I won't back down from anything. At the same time, I can't get the image of that place out of my head. The well. Why is it there? Why did the ancestors emerge and terrorize us? After being there, wrapped in its dark emptiness. How could somebody walk away and forget, having seen that? Then, it's obvious what I need to do now. I go back to work, right away. Tonight, no matter what anyone says. Before I have to face anyone else. Not Kanari or Prava. I'll complete a full shift this century before I show my face to them again. I'll go back and make sense of this. Maybe that's why my father's so distant. He doesn't think I can handle it after what happened. That's probably not why. I should find a messenger and tell the Yishan that I'm ready. Sitting up, I scan the room. However, out of the corner of my eye, I noticed a pile of items on the floor to my left. What are those? What are those? Oh, wound kit. Oh, these are wound kits. I took one from the pile and held it with both hands. It was an object I was well accustomed to, recalling my medical training. The sort of thing that all journeyman wound bearers carried alongside them in case of emergency. Sort of emergency I'd been in yesterday. I suppose they hadn't thought to give me one yet. It'd been my first day, after all. But I'm gonna need one now. I should go find a messenger and tell them I'm ready to return. Inventory's on the B button. We got loadout and equipment. Alright, loadout's probably quick slots. Okay. Combat slots. Okay. Okay, just obtained as well as any consumable item can be equipped under the loadout tab for use in combat. Okay. At least I still have all my items. I just lost the money. Maybe it's experience. Okay. Wound kit, what a treat. Quickly found a messenger and told him what I wanted to do. He was surprised, but passed my message along, insisting that I rest at the temple at least until my shift began. I agreed and managed to get some sleep as the sun slowly dipped below the horizon. Before long, the streets were quiet as evening fell across the island, and I made my way to the garden. Just before my departure, the messenger appeared once more to inform me that Tala had similarly volunteered to return that same evening. I was somewhat surprised to hear this, given his injuries. Apparently, he had insisted when he heard what I was doing. As I walked the emptying streets, I wondered what Kanari and Prava were up to. Had they heard anything? There would still be a workaround now. Before long, I entered the long tunnel. Entering the garden in the evening light, there was Tala. Still adorned in bandages, he leaned nervously against a pillar. He had left before me, it seemed. Alongside him were two journeyman sentries. Replacements. Replacements for Kian and Riyash. I guess the bodies have been retrieved, too. Oh. Your friend here was just talking about you. Aram, then? You were there during the attack yesterday. I was. Tala was there, too. We lost, too. But Aram and I made it back. I see. I'm sorry to hear that. God bless him. You two are here so soon, come to think of it. Tala, was it? You don't look too good. Are you sure you're ready to be back? I'm fine. I look worse than I feel. But in any case, I suppose we'll be on the same shift starting today. Right. I guess we should. I don't know if they briefed you already. We have some new orders from the Ashan. New orders? Yeah. They said that during the attack, an ancestor managed to sneak up on you four. But it was silent, and so he didn't see it coming. That's true. They're never that quiet. Right. Right, so they would have split us up and have watched the entrance much closer? They'd have the other half hang back as support. Much closer? How much closer? So the two of us should sit at the doorway and be able to look down that staircase. God's light. That's nearly inside the well itself. I know. I'm not eager to get that close myself. Well, we're going to have to get close after the ad, because apparently we got another whole hour out of that. BRB. Alright, I always guarantee these new guys are going to die too. They haven't even been given names yet, but I don't know, we'll see what happens. Like, we're definitely going back on the well. That's where the story's pointing, but get that close myself, so I suppose we should cast lots to see who should do it. I had been silently watching the well carefully throughout the conversation. Expecting to be uneasy around it so shortly after what had happened, I was oddly calm. They want us to get closer? Once again, the image of the vast darkness returned to me. That space that stretched for miles in all directions. The ringing quiet of the well. Maybe if I'm the one that watches from the mouth of the entrance, if I get closer, I'll be able to make sense of it. That's why I'm here tonight, after all. I'm here to prove that I'm not afraid of this. I just need answers. Without another thought, I opened my mouth. I'll do it. I'll volunteer. What? Really? Are you sure? Yeah, it doesn't seem fair. No, it's really alright. I want to do it. To, make up for what happened yesterday. You see? Wasn't yesterday your first day of Sentry? We couldn't possibly. It was, but I can handle it. Which voice did I have for him? Sorry. I'll say this. I heard a couple rumors that you did something pretty brave yesterday. Aaron, want to volunteer? I'll support it. Fair enough. I really want to. Life is starting to drift into Tala's voice there, so. I volunteer as well. I'll go with him. Tala. You too? Very well. That makes things easy. I thought they were going to split it too, like 1 and 1. Like what one each of us with one of the scrubs. But having decided, the 2 sentries took their seats around the fire pit. Very soon where Tala, Riosh, Kian, and I myself had sat not 24 hours ago. Tala and I made our way slowly towards the towering doorway. How casually we now passed through it. This place where our enemies lived. As we grew closer, I realized how dark the waning sunlight made the entrance from the outside. Unless you were standing nearly in front of it, the shadows acted as a shroud, obscuring everything inside. This is perfect. At last, Tal and I entered and came to a stop several feet inside. Tala, why did you come with me? You're actually hurt. You didn't need to come back to work so soon. Why? Aram? You know why. I treated to work so shortly after what happened. Volunteering to stay to watch you here, of all places. I'm afraid you're going to do something stupid. Listen, Tala. What happened yesterday? I can't get it out of my head. I feel like I need to know more. I have to know more. Arab, what are you planning? What? What are you going to do? I thought about it. Why am I back here? Why did I volunteer for this? Just for my ego? Just for Sachita? So I could face Kanari and Prava? It wasn't just that. It was also because of that ringing in my ears. It was because of those images in my mind as I fell asleep. It was because, somehow, the well was calling to me. I spoke. I'm going back down. Fucking what? Are you serious? Tala, I need you to do me a favor. Adam? You can't possibly. Please, Tala. Just listen for a moment. Only one time. I need you to cover for me just once. Adam, listen to yourself. You and I barely survived yesterday. Going down there. Seeing those things. We shouldn't be alive after doing something like that. I didn't want to be this close. Please. I can't explain why I need you to do this. I need answers. And I'm going back no matter what anybody says. Look, you said you wanted to make up for yesterday. If you feel like you owe something to Kiana Riage, Aram, this won't help anything. It hurts knowing they're gone, I know. But you have to try and move on. That's what I'm doing. It's not what this is about. That's not why I want to do this. Aram? I don't like this at all. But you saved my life. I owe you for that. I owe the rest of my life. So, if this is something that you have to do, then fine. I'll cover for you. Just this once. Really? Thank you, Tala. Thank you. But I have a condition. You need to promise me that you'll be back in 2 hours or less. And if you see any ancestors, that you'll run away. Don't try to fight them. Run away, come back. Okay. I promise. This really is a terrible, terrible idea. I know. With that, I descended the dark stairway. All the way to the bottom. Trail of blood had just barely faded. Ahead of me was the room with the low ceiling. The true entrance to the well. It's time to go. Oh, level up. Okay, yeah, we lost all our experience in that fight, so. I wonder if enemies respawn, so you can, like, kind of grind out higher levels if you need them. Kind of wish we hadn't lost them all in that fight, but at least we kind of indirectly learned what the system is. This reminds me of, like the Realm of Monsters from the Legend of Zelda cartoon, where Ganon hangs out with his starving colony, his evil jar. Because there's that was a little less Euclidean, but there's a few episodes where they're running around in there. Alright. Aaron will often be forced to confront the ancestors that lurk in the quiet darkness of the well. Touching an ancestor will initiate a battle, pulling in any nearby ancestors as well. However, if you wish to avoid a fight, you can try dodging past the ancestors with X. Okay. Outside of combat, you press A to attack freely. Striking an enemy with an out-of-combat attack will give Aram a free hit and allow him to take his turn first. Try to initiate combat on your own terms for an advantage, but be warned that attacking outside of combat still costs stamina. Battles take place in a combat zone. Yeah, we've noticed that before. Alright. Look out for campsites. Okay. I'm just curious where they're going to cut me off. Free stuff. And like, how are we going to get back out and not get yelled at? You saw nothing. I didn't mean to charge, I just thought I was getting attacked again by one of these little guys. Looks like they only get one attack each. Nope. The directional ones are still screwing me. I'm definitely keeping it on story mode. Alright, nothing fun here. Nope. Alright. See if we can't level anything up before. Yeah, I don't think we learned what the status impairments do yet. At least what laceration does. I feel like maybe it just increases subsequent damage if it's not good. I thought it would be a damage over time, like poison. You bleed out a little bit, but alright. Vitality up 47. Okay. Or no, I don't want it 2. Or no, I do want it up to 2. I got it. Okay. Up. Increase my killing power. We have 236. Can I get one of everything? No. Oh, I like that it turns red when you go over, but okay. No, I wanted to save. Now, do they respawn when I go back in there? That's the question. Yes, okay. Hit the wrong button. Nope. Oh, there's a door up here too, I didn't even see it. It's a little early. Perfect metal. Oh yeah, they were telling me I needed that for stuff earlier. Ancestor component. Down instead of up. That's my bad. Well, I like the two fields of depth. Like they have a shaded out box behind to show what you've checked out. I hope. What? We got 463, right? Probably gonna increase my killing power a lot. Okay, need a key. Oh. Forgot his buddy here. Oof. Sorry for locking in there for a second. I was mostly just trying not to get my ass beat. I hope. So unless the guy at the bottom of the stairs is quick, I think we can scoot this one. Yeah. I don't know if we're supposed to find something in particular out here, or... before we go back out, or if we're supposed to leave and then that ends the night or whatever. More perfect metal, okay. Oh, I was waiting on the select screen there. Kind of appreciate it's just like time swings and there's not like... It would be nice if there was techniques to earn, but or learn, but I'm kind of glad I don't have to learn even more inputs. Firestone. Oh, that's right, you got a D-pad to the other options for activities. Got it. Okay. Ancestor component. Stoneware short sword. Okay, left and trigger swap weapons. Got it. Okay, hoop. Oh. You've got like a split second to hit the direction before you swing, so... Before you hit the button, so... 'Cause I tried holding it earlier and I mistimed it. There's the key. Okay. Oh. Early, I think. Oh. Wrong direction. Oh. White powder. Oh, okay. It's gonna be that kind of party. So maybe some rooms respawn and some don't, or maybe it's a certain distance away from respawn, or maybe they respawn when you save. That could be it. Since I went back and saved. Alright. Boost resistance. Just go 2 killing power, honestly. Can I get another energy out of it? No. Okay. Also, there's a save point on the way, so I'm not too worried about the journey there. Alright, did I not equip that or what? Probably should have read the tooltip a little more thoroughly. Oh. I picked the wrong door anyway. You think you got me while I was winding up there. I almost didn't see him because of the item alert. I think every individual level costs a certain amount of experience, not like each stage on the stack. That's why it was doing the same math for both level ups. Got it. Alright, time to get our ass beat. Or read this cool tablet. If I can even read it. Along the stone walkway, there were many stone tablets. All of them were much larger than myself, and broken. All but the last. Something on its surface caught my attention. There was something that stood out from the pale, lifeless stone that surrounded it. Something familiar and human. It was writing. Suddenly, I was standing directly in front of it. I looked closely. The characters were odd somehow. They differed slightly from the ones I knew. Some were warped, while others seemed to have extra strokes. But still, despite the odd characters and many unfamiliar words, I could make it out. Began to read. This is a eulogy. This is also the last will and testament of thousands of humans. Thousands who have already died. And the many thousands who lasted this long. Living on a fourth of a ration every 2 days. Oof. It's unclear at what point this community became an abject failure. We are certain, however, that it was caused by our meddling with the process of agriculture. Running of our fields infertile. Oh no, and there's a famine starting. And the famine that it brought. We have only one course of action now. That's why I've been asked to leave this message. In this place, that will surely be devoid of light and of sound by the time it's discovered. From long from now, in some uncertain future. I was asked to write because of our small hope. For whoever now reads this message, know that we've gone away from this lifeless place, towards a better future. A place without hunger, hurt, and worry. A place where we can live and raise our children under the sky. If you are reading this now, we've gone to that place. Oh, maybe they just went to the surface? The inscription ended. My head was spinning. I looked around me. The towering structures and bridges. There were people here? It made sense to me, suddenly. The uneasy feeling I had wandering the abandoned rooms. They looked just like our houses back in the settlement. So that's it then. There were people here, just like us. And then, just like us, they had a famine. Thousands died. I thought about that number. Thought about what it meant. My stomach dropped. That's more people than the island's total population. Are we all going to starve? I crouched down, needing to take deep breaths. No. The inscription said... It said that they left. They left this place. And went somewhere better. Somewhere where there was plenty of food to go around. Somewhere else. Maybe this is why I needed to come back here. This is why I couldn't get it out of my head. God was sending me a message. Telling me to find this inscription. To warn me. Maybe I am blessed. But if I was meant to find this, what am I supposed to do? Is there really somewhere out there? Somewhere beyond the shores of this island? Somewhere we could go? A place without famine. And without ancestors. If our lives were like that, maybe they would be even kinder to Sachida? I wanted answers, but now all I have is more questions. There are too many unknowns. Where is this better place? How'd they get there? Surely, somewhere within this sprawling labyrinth. Somewhere within the darkness of the well. The answer's there. There's a trace of those people and where they went. Yes. I know what I need to do. Despite the furious beating of my heart, and the unanswered questions that now diluted my head like floodwater. Despite the lifeless place in which I found myself so achingly far from the warm sun above. In that moment, my course of action was clearer than anything else, anything in my life had ever been. No, it was more like... I thought that as soon as I became a journeyman, I would know what I needed to do. What I needed to do to improve the lives of my family and friends. How I would protect Sachida from all who would scorn and despise her. But then, suddenly, I was one. In only a day, I found myself frozen like a witless child watching an ancestor murder two people in front of my eyes. And not much longer after that, I found myself wandering in the empty darkness of the well. One place I've been told to stay away from for my entire life. Still, then, I was uncertain why it was that I was there. Why it was that such a horrible thing could exist. But now it's clicked. Now it all makes sense. God must be watching me. God must be guiding me. This is my true obligation. This is how I'll do my part. I'll guide them. Everyone on the island. I'll guide them to a better world. I feel like you're making a lot of assumptions here, kid, but okay. A world without hunger and hurt. The world Mom, Dad, Khan, Prava, and Sachida all deserve. If it's the last thing I do, I'll escape this lifeless place. I think it's been nearly 2 hours. I need to get back. We're gonna get in trouble. We're gonna get in... Shit. Now is not the time to get owned. Honestly, I think the island is the place they escaped to. But I guess we'll have to get the full game to find out. better timing my swings, at least. I don't think they got dodges, too. Not the biggest fan. Alright, one more for the road. Oh, I wanted to save. That or we're going to run into Bob's big boy here. So what's up with that closed room there? I wonder if it's going to open up at some point. As I came to the doorway before the staircase leading to the surface, I stopped to consider. If I'm going to figure out where those people went, I'm going to need more time down here. I need to keep coming back. That's it. I use my shifts at the garden as a cover to keep exploring. Tal will be okay with it. He'll understand that I'm doing it to help everybody. He has to. He's fucking dead. Or again, we're gonna get yelled at. Entirely possible. Okay, I can't do rolls on the stairs. That's fair. You would kind of catch your head and be in trouble. Adam? Thank God. You're back. I'm fine. There's nothing down there. I didn't see any ancestors. Really? None? None. But I did find writing. Writing? Yeah. It's kind of like ours. The words were different, but I think that there were people down there, maybe a long time ago. People? Aram? Everyone we know lives on the island. That's where God made us, remember? There's nobody else. I know that, but I think this is real. They left a message. Talk about famine. About people dying. Aram? Don't you think that's odd? Sounds like what's happening right now. Famine? You've heard that rumor too? It's not a rumor, Tala. Listen. I don't fully understand it myself, but there's still so many answers left to find down there. What answers? You promised me this would be a one-time thing. I just need a little more time. I already told you. I didn't see a single ancestor. I wasn't in any danger. I suppose. Look, Aram. I owe you for my life. I won't tell anybody what you did tonight. But as a friend, I think you should stop this right now. Thank you, Tala. But, really, I'm not in any danger. If I see an ancestor, I'll come running back like I promised. And we'll do our duty. Okay, Aram. This could have been its own stream, jeez. Sun had set, and soon after that, our shift in the garden was over. The other two sentries greeted us as we came out of the doorway. Tala gave a report rather simply. No ancestors. They nodded, and we said our goodbyes for the night. Walking the dark streets, Tal and I eventually reached the corner at which we parted ways. He waved solemnly, giving me a long look. Before long, he turned and went into the night. I wonder what he thinks of me right now. After everything we've been through. Is it cruel for me to make him keep this secret? He's grateful to me now. And I'm doing this for a reason. Those things I read. The well, and the ancestors that plague our island. This is how I'll make a difference. There has to be a better way. Aram? Aram? Holy shit. Where have you been? I haven't seen you in 2 days. Can I? I don't believe this. You up and disappeared yesterday. And I'm thinking, well, Aram is Aram, and he's probably off doing God knows what with Sachida. But no. You don't come home all night and then the next day. Nobody told his roommate? And there's a bullshit rumor you somehow advanced in Journeyman early and got killed on your first day? I have to hear that from Prava? And she said she heard it from some other people? This is seriously fucked up. I need a good explanation, like, now. Well, I'm obviously not dead, right? Haha, yeah, good point. Looks like Prava had me all worried for nothing. So pissed. She's always spreading the most outlandish rumors. So, what actually happened? Well, she got part of it right. All of a sudden, yesterday, I was brought before the Ashan and they told me I was advancing early. Oh, yeah, right. You're serious? I know, it's crazy, but I am. Really? You're a journeyman already? I thought we had until the end of the season. I did too, apparently, but apparently this happens sometimes. Wait then, which concentration did you get? Was it Temple Guard like your dad wanted? Not quite. Sentry. Are you fucking with me? Nope. You're telling me everything Prava said was true? Well, I didn't die. That part's obviously not true. But the part about being a sentry? And something horrible happening? Come to think of it, you look pretty beaten down. God, Arm. Are you okay? I thought about his question for a moment. So much had happened in such a short amount of time. How would I even begin to describe it to him? The way that the ancestors silently stalked through the grass? The vast, quiet darkness of the well? The desperate message left behind on that tablet? The sinking feeling that what had happened to them could happen to us? To our island? I'd wanted to try and explain myself to Tala, I really did. But I couldn't do it right. I lied, also. Lied about seeing more ancestors. Oh, yeah. I lied to Ishan as well. I lied to their faces. I lied to Sachito when I pretended everything was alright. Why do I keep lying? Why shouldn't I tell anybody what I've seen? Nobody would believe me. It's easier this way, but it's Kanari. He's my best friend. Surely, if I'm to tell anyone, it would be him? I've known Kanari my whole life. He and I have laughed together, played together, been there for one another. Even if it's Kanari, it's better if he's not implicated. It wouldn't accomplish anything. I'm okay, Khan. The story's only a little interesting. My first day, an ancestor showed up. Really? What was it like? I can't really describe it. They're horrible. But we ended up destroying it. So, everything's fine. Clearly, people made a bigger deal out of it than it really was. Damn. All that on your first day. I'm sorry to hear that. Sounds a lot easier than my day. Fired bowls for 6 hours. I can't argue with that. Oh. So, why didn't you come home? The Ashan wanted to ask some questions. I guess they do that when an ancestor attacks. And, they wanted me to stay overnight at the temple. Oh, so that's all it was. I really can't believe it. A journeyman already. I'm happy for you. Thanks, Khan. I'm happy about it, too. I know it's not quite how we planned it. Not at all. Guess I'm the last one. You, Prava, and Sachida. Figures I'd find a way to advance last. Figures. Well, it's a good thing they haven't held you back already. I don't think anybody has missed high prayer more consistently than you. Oh, shut up. There's no way they keep track of those things. Anyway, I don't really know what my tomorrow was going to look like. They didn't have much time to explain my new responsibilities. But I'd better head to bed anyway. It's been a long 2 days. Yeah, God. I can imagine. I'll see you in the morning. Right, good night. And, you know, I'm glad you didn't die. And all that. Me too. How much longer is this? 2 boys were sparring in the courtyard. They were just boys, truly. No more than children. They were practicing, hitting each other with wooden rods in the shape of weapons and blocking with makeshift shields. The boys laughed and goaded each other on. It seemed to an observer almost play fighting. But there was an air of discipline about their movements. Even so young, both boys knew what it was they were practicing for. The taller of the two lost his footing and fell to his knees. He groaned in protest. Come now, son. A gentle voice came from the edge of the courtyard. Don't be discouraged. Regain your balance and try again. Two men stood watching the boys train. They watched intently, transfixed by pride as the boys flailed about. Even watching such a graceless display. The sort of pride that only fathers feel for their sons. Your boy has really come such a long way, said the first man, smiling and turning to his companion. The other man grinned and nodded his head. Thank you, Ashidar. Though I fear I'm much too hard on him. First man shook his head and laughed. Well, I felt the same. My father was far more stern with me than I've ever been with Hiram. He wanted me to be the best I could possibly be. Better man than himself, perhaps. He was often harsh. But at the end of the road, I feel I became the man he hoped for. I'm grateful for it. The taller boy landed a blow on the shorter boy just then, yelling out in triumph. The shorter boy quickly struck back, hoping to return the favor. But that doesn't mean he wasn't a bastard half the time. Both men shared a laugh. You shouldn't worry, Bashkar. I don't think you're like that with your boy at all. Children are molded by their parents' best intentions. Not necessarily! Intentions only go so far. And I know you'll see great things for him. Think nothing more of it. The second man was silent for a moment, but soon turned and gave his companion a pat on the shoulder. Thank you, he said. You're an intelligent man, Ashidar. The island would be lost without you. First man shook his head. There's one thing I hope for Aram. It's that he grows into a far smarter man than I. Two boys had dropped their weapons and begun to wrestle, kicking and shouting. The second man started towards them, but stopped himself momentarily. By the way, Ashidar, how was it you chose Aram's name? Was it Malia's idea? First man was quiet for a moment. That's a story I'll tell you another time, I'm afraid. What about you, then? Second man smiled and resumed walking towards the children. It was nothing, really. I simply loved the sound of it. He shouted to the son. Kanari! Pick your weapon up and do it properly. This isn't the time to play. I am almost willing to bet that Aram is responsible for Kanari's injury. I was woken the next day with a sudden knock at the exterior of our home. I wasn't particularly refreshed, but it had at least been nice sleeping in my own room again. Pulling myself out of bed, I made my way downstairs and let to find a messenger boy standing in our entryway. He'd let himself in, it seemed. What's up, you little shit? Good morning, Moonbear Aram. Oh, good morning. Apologies for coming at such an early hour. I bring word from the armory. The armory? Now that you're a journeyman woundbearer, you may be occasionally called upon for additional duties. The armory pulls names from a list of available journeymen when a task is required. Oh, side quests, some more. You've been called. That's why I've come. Oh, I see. That was fast. Certainly, this should have been explained to you right when you advanced, but there were complications that distracted us from the typical procedures. It's alright, I'm very aware. What's my task, then? The armory received a request from the temple for an escort for one of the Sunlight Maidens. You should have come in here to the destination and back to the temple safely. Oh, that's all? I understand. Once you've finished your day at your own day, you must report to your duty as sentry. Oh, alright. Thank you. Oh, of course, it was a blessing. Thanks for me as well. Arrow, can you keep it down, please? Oh, sorry. I'll be taking my leave then. Gathering my belongings and my weapon, I quickly said goodbye to an agitated Kanari and ran out the door. I made my way quickly to the temple, still unsure when exactly I needed to be there. Fortunately, it seemed, I was right on time. I stepped into the courtyard and immediately spotted a girl wearing the familiar deep reds of a Sunlight Maiden, waiting expectantly. Getting closer, I was shocked to see a familiar hooded face. Sachi?
Aram? I can't believe it. They really sent you?
Wow, what a coincidence.
Huh? Oh, no, this isn't a coincidence. What do you think the odds of that would be? I asked for you specifically, of course.
Wait, really?
Mm-hmm. Well, I heard you'd already gone back to work. So I figured you might be available.
You're right about that.
Though I didn't think they would actually give me any say in it. But I'm glad it's you. They, usually don't send me on the errands. But I do have to go, you know. I can tell it's uncomfortable for my escort.
You shouldn't worry about that.
Nope, not today. I have you to keep me company.
Right. I'm at your disposal, my lady.
Oh, please don't talk like that. You'll ruin it.
Sorry. Should we get going then?
Please.
So, where exactly are we going?
Storehouse today.
Alright then. Shall we? I kind of like having the day job stuff because it seems like it's giving you, like, it's giving you, like, idle time to, or, well, less active time to remind you what you're digging around for in the first place. Like, it builds and maintains its connection to its community, and I like that. Character build wise. With that, we left the temple gates and began in the direction of the storehouse. I walked just ahead of her, and she followed closely behind, keeping her hood low over her eyes and face. As we began to walk, I looked back to make sure she hadn't fallen behind. She caught my eye and gave me an eager smile.
This whole thing is rather ridiculous, don't you think?
What is?
Needing an escort just to walk a few blocks?
Well, you're important, Sachi.
What I am is expendable. There are dozens of girls at the temple that look and dress just like me.
I wouldn't say just.
Yeah. Obviously they have prettier skin. Very funny.
That's not what I meant at all. What if somebody tried to hurt you?
Who would honestly do that? Tagging a sunlight maiden. Nobody would ever touch me, you know that.
Okay, I'll concede on this. You're right, it is a bit overdramatic. But I'm a journeyman now. It's part of my obligation, so I'll do it.
Hey, Aram. Are you sure you're okay? Being a sentry, it sounds so dangerous.
Her question gave me pause. I had the same feeling as last night, talking with Kanari. Obviously, I can't tell her about any of this. She's the last person who needs to know. She would worry, be afraid for me. I'm doing all this so she doesn't have to worry, for any reason, ever again. And that's why this is an unhealthy, lopsided partnership, and, well, proto-partnership, and kind of hoping for more than you're willing to gun for, my man. Take a moment to collect myself, I slipped into my confident persona once again. It's getting a little easier. Of course, what do you mean?
It's only been a day or so and you're already back at work. I just want you to be safe, you know?
I am, you don't have to worry. I told you I wasn't hurt at all. And anyway, it's been quiet ever since.
It's still scary. Prava was really worried too. I told her you were okay, but she's eager to see you.
I only just got home last night.
Right. I'm sorry for being so pushy. I really am excited for you, too, though. You're a journeyman now. What you've always wanted.
That's true.
How does it feel?
I don't know yet, but I'm really liking it so far, Sachi.
I'll admit I'm liking it so far as well. Get to talk your ear off more than usual, that is.
Haha, you're right.
It's too bad, though. Advancing at a time like this.
Do you mean the harvest?
Yeah. I don't think everybody knows yet, but they're worried. When people are worried, they tend to act out more.
I see. We arrived at our destination, the conversation tapering out. The storehouse was an unassuming building, but one of the most important in the settlement. It held the majority of the island's food. Couriers and apprentices alike came and went, taking food for their workshop or field every so often. Sashida was probably tasked with bringing back a few days' worth. Though, I thought amusingly, I'll probably be the one carrying it all back. Ad break coming up, so let that hang there. Okay, I was hoping to see if there's anything about the saves carrying over in the discussions, but maybe I'll check the news posts. Anyway, we continue. I think we're only going to get to big hops after this, and that's going to be it for the night. I believe that Sachida went through the doorway. Her smile had faded, and she seemed anxious.
Good day. I'm here on behalf of the Sunlight Maidens to receive our portion for the week. My escort will...
Hold on. I sent you this week? You're that cursed girl. Huh?
I am. As I was saying.
God's light. Don't stand so close to me, girl. I might have touched you by accident. Hey!
I'm sorry. I'm just here to see if our...
No. This isn't gonna work. Behind the counter looked past Sachi and made eye contact with me. She spoke clearly, deliberately talking over her as if she wasn't even in the room. You there, boy? Wound bearer? You need to go back to the temple and tell them to send another girl. You need to go fuck yourself. You can't be serious.
Hold on.
I'm not giving anything to her. She's cursed, you know? You can tell by her skin. Starting to drift into at least one other voice I'd used earlier. This is ridiculous. Sashi does not. She's not cursed.
Aram.
Are you stupid or something, boy? Of course she is. I don't want her anywhere near me, let alone in the storehouse. Hey. Regardless of your personal feelings, she's a sunlight maiden. Chosen by God.
Aram, please.
I can feel myself slowly losing composure. I was worried that Sachita hated it when I intervened on her behalf. For as long as I had known her, I had, time and time again, watched her face insult and ridicule from others. Being around her, there was always the fear that we would cross paths with somebody who despised her enough to make a scene, like now. I learned early on that if I stepped in to defend her in any way, it only made her more upset. Still, dude, I don't really understand why. Watching her stand there and take it, like always. I suppose I'd forgotten how angry it made me. Perhaps everything I'd been through these past few days had worn my patience down. I took a step forward. It's unacceptable. Don't speak to her that way.
Aram.
Why has he got special treatment is beyond me.
Making her sunlight made him know less. Anyone with eyes can tell just by looking at her. It's not good to be in the same room as a girl who's cursed.
Then fucking leave. I took another step forward, driven by anger now rather than logic. Wasn't sure what I was going to do, but I had a feeling it would be something very stupid. However, just as I was ready up to cause a scene, a grave voice came from behind me. Dad? Okay, that's quite enough, Aram. It was my father, walking briskly through the doorway to the counter. His voice stunned me into silence. Why is he here? I realized we still hadn't exchanged a proper word since the meeting before the Ashan yesterday. He gave me a sharp look, and the recent distance between us seemed heavy in the air.
Hi, wound bearer. I already told the young one. I'm not giving that girl anything. She's cursed.
Yes, I know.
She shouldn't even be allowed in here, you know?
Yes.
I don't have time for this sort of unpleasantness with all we've got to worry about right now. I don't want to ruin any stores we've got left.
Yes. There was a mistake at the temple. She shouldn't have been given this errand. Fuck you, Dad. Another sunlight maiden would draw it shortly. Just then, Father turned. I'd been silently watching him, surprised at his apologetic tone. His face was strained as he looked from me to Sachita, then back to me again. Sachita held her head low. How much must she hate this? I felt a pang of guilt in my chest. Aram, take her back to the temple, please. But wait. Now isn't the time. Please, Aram. You're a journeyman now. Do as I ask. Alright. I'll take care of things here. Come on, Sachi. Let's go. Man, I want to lay into that bitch. Yeah. We walked in silence for a short while. I should probably not use gendered insults, I'm sorry. Tried to think of something to say. Is she mad at me? She walked ahead this time, so I couldn't see her expression. As I was trying to think of a way to break the awkward silence, Sachi just stopped suddenly. She didn't say anything. Sachi? I asked slowly. We should keep...
Aram, she said quietly. I need to stop for a moment.
Sachi turned off the street into a nearby alleyway, and I followed. I guess this might have been the alley where we found that one item early on that I picked up and probably could do it now if we hadn't earlier. Okay. Sachita,
I'm sorry, Aram.
Sorry?
I'm sorry this was such a mess.
It wasn't a mess.
Can you stop lying? Just for a few minutes?
Read his ass like a book. You didn't do anything wrong, though. That's not a lie.
No. Of course, it had to be her there today.
Her voice seemed to be breaking. She wiped one eye with the back of her hand. Tears streaked across her cheek, the red welts and scars glistening in the hazy light.
It's so cruel. Every time she pretends like she doesn't recognize me for a few seconds. But of course she does. She just wants me to think that I don't matter. That I'm so unpleasant. That she's shocked and appalled all over again like it's the first time she's seen me.
Sachi.
Haha. I know. I'm thinking about it too much. I'm letting it get to me.
I wasn't going to say that.
It's a little frustrating, I think.
They don't understand, Sachi. They don't understand that you're not cursed.
It doesn't really matter, I think. I'm just...
She'd been holding it back, but now her tears came more readily.
I'm just so tired of it, Aram. I thought it might be different if you were there. I'm so tired. When will my punishment be over?
I desperately tried to think of something, anything to say.
Sometimes you just gotta listen, buddy.
Seconds of silence were agonizing. This really is so pathetic. I wasn't any help back at the storehouse. Now I can't think of a single comforting word to offer her. She's never this vulnerable with me. I need to say something right now to comfort her. Something. Anything. She needs me. There's only one idea in the back of my head. So, despite my better judgment, I reached out and put my arms around Sachida. I held her in a tight embrace. Let's just break all the taboos, I guess. She sobbed quietly into my shoulder for a moment, unmoving. It's because, as they mentioned earlier, it's because she's a sun maiden or whatever. She can't, like, touch other people without certain clearance. Because, like, our mother used to be a shrine maiden, didn't she? But soon I felt her arms shift as she put them around my waist. We stayed that way for what was likely only a few seconds. It felt longer. Finally, she pulled away, rubbing her eyes.
Alright then. I think we've had my fill of crying now. I think I've had my fill of crying now.
Oh yeah?
These things shouldn't still make me cry. I'm not a little girl anymore.
I think you're brave about it.
I'm so sappy, Aram. Thank you.
Yeah. I'm gonna kick that woman's ass now. If you're ready. I still need to take you back to the temple.
Huh. Okay, I'm ready now. But, please don't tell your dad that I was crying. I don't want him to know. Will you promise?
I promise, of course.
Good. You can take this hysterical maiden back now.
With that, I took Sachida the rest of the way back to the temple, and we parted ways. We said our goodbyes and nothing else, and as I turned away, she gave me an odd smile and a wave. After what had happened in the alleyway, neither of us was quite sure what else to say. Not sure if what I did helped or not, but she ought to be back, right? Felt like the only thing I could do, really. I can't remember the last time I saw her like that. Maybe things are finally moving forward between us? She was so open with me today. Still, I wasn't able to do anything at the storehouse. There's still time to kick that lady's ass, even as a journeyman. All I could do was stumble over my words and get angry. It's not enough. Yet another reason why I have to do this. Why I have to continue to explore the well. Sachi was right, after all. This famine brings out the worst in people. If there's any chance there's a better place out there, I'll find it. I passed the next few hours without doing much in particular. I do like... I feel like they're going for more of a survival mode vibe out of her, rather than, like, just sucking it up and taking it just because she's a woman. I was a little worried about that, or they were going to damsel her up or something, but... I feel it's more like just a necessity to get by kind of vibe. And she said it was mostly just that clerk, so... It was odd to have so much time on my hands now. I was used to training for most of the daylight hours. Now that my time was on my own, it seemed I was squandering it. The sun was beginning to set, and just as I considered heading home to sleep for a few hours before my shift at the garden, a familiar voice called out to me. Now what?
Aram. There you are.
Oh, Prava. I forgot what voice I used for her earlier, sorry. I completely forgot to come see you after.
Oh, no. Don't give me that crap. I can't believe you.
Hold on.
You advanced to journeyman early and don't tell anyone?
Well, that's...
You go missing, and then I hear from Canary this morning that you'd suddenly come home? I still hadn't heard from you?
I'm sorry. Really, I am. I couldn't get away. They had me at the temple since last night, so...
Really? So that's all it was. God's light. I really was worried.
I know. I'm sorry for disappearing on everyone. But I'm fine.
I'm just...
Settling into my new responsibilities.
Right. Well, that's exciting, no? Hard to believe you're already a journeyman. Feels like Sachi and I have been waiting forever for you two to catch up.
Forever? It hasn't been that long.
Oh, God. I'm supposed to be doing an errand right now. I got a bit sidetracked seeing you here.
That's alright. I will keep you.
Sorry, I should go. Why don't you drop by the kiln soon? I'm on my way back now. You know, if you got some extra time on your hands. Con and I would love to see you chat whenever.
Well, it seems I do have a lot more free time now. If you don't mind, then. Sure.
Great. Hopefully we'll see you soon.
The new quests will appear here periodically. Some might only have a brief time window. Oh, you can upgrade the wound kit. Okay. So I guess those were charges, the 3 of 3, and they... I don't know if they reset when you save or what, but... Kiln and Hospice are open. We had that conversation before, that's kind of why I skimmed through it. Nope. I want to go save somewhere. So I might have to make yet one more session out of this. I want to get big hops out of the way. I think we can save in our mom's room or something. Yeah, we've had the Sachi conversation before. Yeah, here we go. Oh, there's fast travel too. I forgot. Okay. But yeah, like, God, there's so much demo here. This is ridiculous. Alright, let's do big hops. And then I'm gonna have to cut these as their own episodes, if nothing else. For the playlist for the full game, but anyway, big hops. I made the logo go away by tabbing out, but that's fine. So we were in like the Old West area. Which hopefully actually loads and I didn't break it. There we go. Okay. Yeah, so we're gonna check this out. I think there's a guy with a mask or something. I need to figure out... I need to remember what the buttons do. Alright, that's our roll. Oh, tongue, right trigger. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, there's the prompts at the bottom. Okay. I got a rock. Okay, that's right. We used that to knock that down. Alrighty. It's coming back. I guess it didn't save me opening it up before. Okay, hook. Did we get a double jump? No. Okay. Okay, that's right. We just got the backpack. That's right. When holding an item, press Y to put it in your backpack. As you're empty, press Y to open your backpack. Okay. Okay, another button. Next we gotta find something I can throw. Let me guess, I gotta go down for more rocks. Okay, we have 4 slots. Got it. Okay. Oh. I do like that little warp sound when you shove something in there. That's cute. Okay. And yeah, just directional pad. Finds that for you. Alright. A little more to the left. Maybe a little bit lower. But I figured it would arc a little bit. Oh, that's right. We can wall jump. I forgot. Oh. And climb. And apparently wall run. Or do that. Which I don't want to do. Okay. Actually, can I make this? Yeah, I forgot about the... Yeah, I remember the climb mechanic. I would have grabbed these gubbins earlier. I don't know what the drips they're talking about are all about. I don't remember if they actually, like, cover that yet. Okay. I think if the wall run doesn't take stamina, and worst comes to worst, I'll be back there momentarily. I did it again, but whatever. It works either way. It just doesn't look as cool when you don't wall run it. Warp. Can I throw rocks at things? There's a question. Like at boxes. No. Okay. I'll hang on to it for now, since there doesn't seem to be a weight penalty. Or what I've been playing that does have a weight penalty. I'm not sure which wall I should try to run on here. Okay. Okay, look like there might have been a gap there. Can I get the switches? So, run it! Or don't. I think maybe I was supposed to jump and climb at the end there. Oh, we found that. Kind of glad we went back. I saw that from across the way. I didn't realize we'd already re-reached where that was supposed to be. Okay. Okay. Aha! Get more height, then run it. Ah! I didn't think I could do that. Sneaky. No goodies here. I think. Thought I saw something up high, but no. Unless there's something up and around here. It's just that there's a weird indent there, so I was a little suspect. Grab the goods before I drop back down. Okay, it doesn't seem to lead anywhere. I don't know whether... Okay, there's a big ladder up there, and I don't know why there's a big hovery thing there. But I'm gonna steal. Oh, maybe I can't open that. Huh. Also one of those purple things leading it right into the door, so... Oh wait, left trigger to climb. Okay, maybe there's nothing up here. I tried. Because I can't climb that whole wall, there's no way. Tools. I'd rather they had the echo effect indoors too, because they had one in the cave earlier. It was really good. It's a nice touch. Can I lick the thing? Hello.
Gotcha. Who are you, and what are you doing in my workshop?
Oh.
You don't seem dangerous. How did you get here?
I was kidnapped?
Some floating purple guy dropped me here.
Purple, you say? Did you come through any kind of strange world or dimension?
A little bit.
I
Now that
see.
you mention it.
You must have traveled here through the void.
Ah.
I've had suspicions that something weird is happening, dimensionally speaking, but the people in town thought I was losing my mind. I'm Copper, by the way.
I'm Hop.
Pleased to meet you, Hop.
Can you help me get
You're
home?
a long way from home. I'm sorry. I have something that might help, but she's been decommissioned for a long time.
I'll do anything. I have to get home.
We'll need to fix the fuel intake, and at least one of the lift devices will need to be refreshed.
That's a vehicle.
And the capacitor will need to be rebuilt or replaced completely. I think it can be done. You'll need to find me 3 airship parts.
Oh. Great. What do we need?
Catalyzer, a bubble rater, and a flux cap.
A what?
Don't get caught up in the specifics. You'll know an airship part when you see it. To get this thing working, I'll have to start right away. Come back as soon as you have all 3 airship parts.
Okay. Well, since I guess I got no other choice.
Character is forged through adversity, kid.
I'm guessing I have to stuff those in my
And this should help
backpack.
you stay on track.
Oh. Cool. I like that it's a tire.
You can take my elevator up to Duster Bluffs. It's as good a place as any to start searching for parts.
I'm gonna go back out and check the other, That's probably where that ladder comes into play, and that, swing point that was floating above. Just wanted to see what's going on over here real quick. Oh, is this just where we came in? I think so. Yeah, this is just a way back down. Okay. Yeah, okay. I remember that platform. Okay, so it was just a big loop. Just making sure. Alright, well. Away we go, I guess. Alright, elevator. Else fun in here. I kind of want to see what this signage is about. We went up there already, right? Yeah, then I went towards the desk. Okay.
So you're gonna trust a weirdo raccoon stranger to get you home?
Yes. Rather trust him than you.
You're as whacked as Copper. No one has ever...
This is voice actor sounds familiar too.
You're wasting your time.
I feel like I should be licking every surface that people have been using their hands to manipulate, presumably, but whatever. Also, remember correctly, there's no way to turn off that FPS marker in the corner. Oh, that was it. Okay, we did it! But yeah, I wishlisted that after the first section, even with the issues I was having with, what was it? Oh yeah, there was the interstitial world, the gravity got a little weird on some of the segments, but we could look at the challenges. Is it just 3? Okay. Let's go goo balling, I guess. What? Oh, okay. Oh, it bounces X number of goos. Okay. I feel like that's something I'd rather learn the mechanic for in-game. Because I feel like some practice on some simpler levels would be a little better for me. But it is cool that they made mini-games of the different, like, presumably all the physics objects. That's cool. Okay. Yeah, big hops. Glad we Made sure we were done with that one.